Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Bellevue. We are so glad that you are here in person, on site, and online. We warmly welcome you in the spirit of love, in the spirit of light, in the spirit of peace. We know that each of you are here for a reason, and your presence here is a blessing to us all. We hope that, and we know with you, that when you leave here this morning, you will know the reason that you were here, and that it has a blessing for you as well. So thank you for being here. We are so grateful you have joined us. My name is Monica McDowell Elvig. I am the center administrator, and I am also doing some temporary operations management as we are in this time of transition. We have some awesome service leaders today. Lori Coleman was our meditation facilitator, and she is our prayer chaplain this morning as well. Thank you, Lori. Paul Roof is our board host this morning. I'm not sure Paul is in the room yet, but Paul will be our, nope, I saw a nod. Nope, I don't see him. Okay, so we'll have him with us later on. And Dr. Mary Ellen Johnson is our guest speaker again. We are so glad to have you with us. I'll be reading her bio in a little bit. And Becky Thatcher and Matt Corey are back as our guest artists. It's been a while, so we are so grateful that you are back with us in person. Awesome. Jamie Sassy is, of course, our song leader, and they are going to kick us off with our community song, Lead Me On, Lead Me Up.
Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome. Please stand as you're able and join me in the community song. Lead me on, lead me up, lead me higher and higher. Holy Spirit, do your perfect work in me. Let your love, let your joy, let your peace and your kindness, let the fruit of your Spirit flow through me. Lead me on, lead me up, lead me higher and higher. Holy Spirit, do your perfect work in me. Let your love, let your joy, let your peace and your kindness, let the fruit of your Spirit flow through me. Lead me on, lead me up, lead me higher and higher. Holy Spirit, do your perfect work in me. Let your love, let your joy, let your peace and your kindness, let the fruit of your Spirit flow through me. Let the fruit of your Spirit flow through me.
We are here in this moment full of gratitude for life itself, full of gratitude for every breath, every moment, every experience, everyone and everything. We invoke divine health and divine light, filling every cell in our body, filling every relationship, every community, the whole planet. We vibrate in this healing light, in alignment with all of the good that is already here for us, that is always here for us and for all. We send this beacon of light, this beacon of well-being out to everyone here, everyone online, to the whole world, to Ukraine and Russia. We breathe in with a sacred breath. We breathe in again, feeling that peace. And we declare this sanctuary, this community, this celebration service is sacred and all is well. We are so grateful, and so it is.
Don't feel shy about, like dancing in the aisles or singing along. Yeah, you see, Jim's out there dancing it up, yeah.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright sunshiny day. Gonna be a bright sunshiny day.
Yes, I can make it now. The pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I've been waiting for.
It's gonna be a bright,
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 bright, sunshiny day.
gonna be a bright,
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 bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Here is that rainbow I've been waiting for.
it's gonna be a bright,
Bright,
bright, bright,
bright, sunshiny day.
it's gonna be a bright,
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 bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue skies. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Here is that rainbow I've been waiting for.
it's gonna be a bright,
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 bright, sunshiny day.
it's gonna be a bright,
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 bright, sunshiny day. Let's hear you say bright.
It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day.
One more time. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day.
Seeing you guys.
That was fun and awesome. Thank you so much. Yay. Today is our third Sunday in Metaphysical Lent, the Spiraling Path, and we have been blessed by the submission so far, and I think this morning's submission will be a blessing to you as well. This one comes to us from Lisa Singer. It is a multimedia slideshow, and I will read to you as we go along. It is Reflections on a Honeysuckle, How Tanzania Brought Me Home, Part 1. What compels us to push fire toward canvas, to break free of the gravity that holds us? I want to breathe the air the birds breathe, to float in the silence. I want to see my shadow, to know where it goes and what it touches. It's there. And then gone. Has my shadow brought pain or joy? I know how many have influenced me, but I will never know how many I have influenced. This not knowing makes my loving presence even more important. The pull of the earth brings me back. Like every journey, I look at life a little differently now. I appreciate the details more. And as I look back to where I've been, I see what's now before me. Am I as much an influence on even this honeysuckle as it is on me? This was inspired by Unity of Bellevue. I have copies printed along with our other submissions out on the Team Unity table, so you can take this home for further reflection. I hope that you do, because it's beautiful, and as much as we love our technology, our screen doesn't show the details, so please feel free to take one home with you. Thank you so much, Lisa. Beautiful job. Dr. Mary Ellen Johnson, our beloved guest speaker this morning, she holds a Doctor of Ministry degree from the Wisdom School of Graduate Studies. She is also a religious science practitioner and a certified labyrinth facilitator. She was part of the team that built the outdoor labyrinth here at Unity of Bellevue in 1996. As an avid pilgrim, she has completed the Spanish Camino and journeys on foot to Assisi in Italy, to I never know how to pronounce this, Chartres Cathedral in France. Known for her warmth, honesty, and humor, Mary Ellen's personal credo is, life is easy when you share what you love and teach what you know. We are so grateful she is here to speak with us again and to share her wisdom and what is on her heart, and we know the divine will speak to you and through you and be a blessing to us all. So thank you for your presence amongst us today. For our affirmation this morning, I'm going to read it through once, and then we will read it through together as a community in one voice. I'm going to find that right now. Listen with your spiritual ears. No matter where I am on my spiritual journey, I am learning and growing in consciousness. I experience the expansion of my being on all levels: physical, emotional, mental, relational, and spiritual. Everything I am is sacred. All that I know is blessed. I surrender to the energizing, spiraling path of my divine unfoldment, and so it is. Let us affirm together in one voice as a community. No matter where I am on my spiritual journey, I am learning and growing in consciousness. I experience the expansion of my being on all levels: physical, emotional, mental, relational, and spiritual. Everything I am is sacred. All that I know is blessed. I surrender to the energizing, spiraling path of my divine unfoldment, and so it is.
It's hard to have faith when your world is crumbling. It's hard to see light when you're lying in the dark. But don't you give up, 'cause a change is coming. Remember these words and take them to your heart. There'll come a time when you will find that you are free of the troubles of today. There will be light, things is a power that has set you free today. You're out in the storm and the thunder's rolling, alone and afraid. You just don't know where to run. But just you hold on when the wind is blowing. The end of the storm, you know, is bound to come. There'll come a time when you will find that you are free of the troubles of today. There will be light, things will be right. There is a power that has set you free today. There is a power that has set you free today. There is a power that has set you free today.
Becky and Matt, thank you. Thank you. It is so lovely to be in your presence and to hear you sing. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Gosh, it's so nice to see you. Yeah. I have breaking news. Breaking news. As of 8:33 a.m. this morning, the sun and the earth aligned for the vernal equinox. It is now officially spring. Yes. We survived the winter. And as I was thinking about it this morning, I thought, we have now survived 2 winters in this pandemic. I want a merit badge, or at least a lapel pin or something, right? Yeah. Yes. And it's my honor to be here this morning. Many of you know this, but some of you don't, that I first walked in those doors in 1990. And I walked into this church when my life was upside down. And 32 years later, these teachings have certainly changed the trajectory of my life and have certainly created the story of my life and of who I am today. And had I not walked through those doors, I would have a very different life story. And these teachings have been taught to me by a couple of people who stood at this platform and at this podium, primarily Linda Spencer and John McLean. And my gratitude for them, I will tell you that all 4 foot 10 inches of me, if I have anything of value to say to you this morning, it is because I stand on the shoulders of those giants. So we're going to talk today about changing our story, right? So I want you to get comfortable in your chair. And I want you to sit back and think a moment. I want you to kind of take a mental snapshot of your life as it is right now, right? So I want you to think about your relationships. I want you to think about your home, about your work, about your community, about your finances, about your health, about your plans and your dreams, and yes, even what you're obsessing about or what your fears are. And think about then also how your story fits in the greater circle of your life, in the community. All right. Got a good snapshot of all of that? here on this first day of spring, it's probably time to do a little house cleaning, a little housekeeping at least. And the world is kind of chaotic out there. It always has been. But, you know, we've got a pretty special mix of economic upheaval and war, and we're not quite sure what this pandemic is doing at the moment. So it's not an irrational response to be a little unsettled, okay? It's not. But we also have the power to update our story. So let's have a look at that, because the story that we create about our lives and how we look at things, it's the paradigm of how we make sense of life. So if our story is outdated or negative or paints us as a victim, yeah, we can work to change that, and we can update our story into something that's more positive. It may be time to press the refresh button, okay? F5, there we go. Because you can't change the facts of your life, right? But you can always reframe it in a new perspective. So we're gonna do that a little bit. Because some of the things in your life and in your history, they may have seemed like a tragedy at the time, but now they can be seen as a positive turning point. You just need to be willing to see it differently and to see differently of how you fit into the larger story. Because meaning comes when we feel that we're part of something bigger than ourselves. When we have a sense of purpose, when we believe that what we do matters, when we believe that who we are matters. And changing our story, updating our story, helps to facilitate this. So hopefully when you were taking the snapshot of your life, that you were telling the truth about things, that you look reality squarely in the face. Your attachments, your resistances, your traumas, your grief, your losses, they are all part of your story. But we all know that this teaching, this unity philosophy, this way of life, it isn't for wimps. It's about knowing yourself. It's about diving deep and healing what needs to be healed. And this teaching, it takes courage. It takes courage to step in and step up to the best of who you are, and to believe that these promises are true, and to grab hold of the pure potential that's lying within you. So this isn't for fence sitters. It's certainly not for people who just want to dip their toe in the water. If you want this to work, you got to jump in with both feet. So this being the theme of the spiraling path, let's look at a couple of paradigms for how to understand how life unfolds and how to be able, how to have a paradigm, a framework for looking at your life. I love the paradigm of the spiral. But it's really important to understand that that spiral doesn't just keep going round and round and round. That spiral, each time it comes round, it comes out wider and higher. And so that each time you come back round, maybe you've got a recurring something that happens in your life. At least when you come round to it again, see it from a more expansive place, right? The paradigm of the maze. Oh, this is the nasty one. All right? The maze where you start off with a full head of steam and you think you know exactly what to do and you're headed for the goal, and bam, you end up in a dead end. And you feel like a failure. Maybe you've got a little bit of shame because, oh gosh, I got it wrong again. And tucked in that little dead end is a whole pile of excuses and ways to feel bad about yourself, and you can just pick up a handful of it if you want to. Yeah, let's throw that one out the window, because that's really not what life is like. That's not what it is. Let's look at the paradigm of my beloved labyrinth. A labyrinth is a unicursal path, and it may twist and it may turn. And when you take one of those turns, you look like you're going back the opposite direction of where you were initially headed, but you know what? It's always forward motion. And those turns in the path can be seen as events in your life, all right? And that there are no mistakes. There are no dead ends. There's nothing that is for naught. They are all events filled with grace if you are willing to see them that way. All right, so let the labyrinth be your paradigm for your story. I want you to spend a few moments thinking about times in your life that might be labeled as failures. You know, it could be the job you got fired from, or the marriage that didn't work out, or the time you had to drop out of school, or financial setback. And I want you to bless them all as events that have unfolded in the seamless story of your life. I want you to spend another moment thinking about your challenges. We all have them. Perhaps you have a persistent health challenge, or you have a child that has special needs, or you've recently been betrayed or violated in some way. These painful scars are also part of your story, but viewed with compassion and wrapped in forgiveness, they can become Spirit's way of keeping your heart open and supple and soft. Scar tissue is not your friend. Keep working to peel it away. It's never one and done. It's a process. But make sure that that's a priority for you. Defining events in our lives. We all have them. Big things that happen that really knocked us off course. Perhaps our initial assessment of them is no longer true. Your history does stay alive in your present, but it doesn't have to be the same part of this. It doesn't have to show up in the same part of the story. For example, my mother died when I was 19. I am 65 years old now. That event certainly meant something 20 years ago, that over time, that event, while it was still a defining event in my life, has certainly changed its importance and changed in its overall effect on who I am and how I show up in the world. Remember that in learning to rework your story, that it's the voice of Spirit in your heart that really gets the ball rolling. And remember that the still small voice takes its time to speak clearly. So you have to make space to listen, right? So this is what your daily meditation time is about. This is what at least stopping to breathe when you're sitting at a stoplight is about. Listen, because when you are listening, the voice will show up and will speak to you very clearly. We need to invoke the witness. We need to be able to see our lives from a higher plane, hold the high watch for ourselves, so to speak. We need to always have a beginner's mind. Let's not have our minds already made up about this and that and the other thing. And realize that as life unfolds, you really do never step into the same river twice. We need to watch our words and our thoughts. People, this is really important. We all know that thoughts become things, right? And that the words are the energetic, creative agents of your life. So be very careful about what you feed your mind, and be very careful about what you think, and be very careful about what comes out of your mouth. There was a wonderful, on my Facebook page, Paul, it's on yours too, about what you seek is what shows up for you in life. So if you are constantly seeking the good is going to show up for you. So focus on that. And, you know, stop doom scrolling on your phone. Stop it. Stop it. And you know, there's horrible things happening in the world that are gut-wrenching and soul-crushing. I have disciplined myself to only watch the 6 o'clock news, all right? Turn off the TV. The 6 o'clock news is going to tell you everything you know. And the only other thing you need to know is to write a check to somebody in the world who's doing the work to relieve suffering, all right? That's how we're going to get through this. The traumas and the disappointments in our life, to circle back on that, yes, they're part of your story, but they are not the title of your book. And they are not even a chapter title or a section heading. They're just part of your story. Don't give them any more top billing than that. Forgiveness. There's always more work to be done with that. Forgive yourself. It's a continual process. Forgive yourself for every mistake you've ever made, because you did the best you could at the time with the knowledge and the resources that you had. That's all. So give yourself some grace for that, because in a different situation at a different time, you would do differently, all right? Learn to review your history and look at your story with gratitude and humor. You know, the truth is that pain plus time equals humor. So whatever was painful at whatever time, in time, hopefully you can at least smile about it, if not have a good laugh. I read an interview with Matthew McConaughey, and he said he tries to make his default response to anything in life to be humor. Wow. Because for those of us who might have a hair trigger temper, that's a biggie. That's a biggie. I'm working, that's my growth edge right there. And remember that in that forgiveness and in that wanting to see your life in a framework of grace, remember that if you're sitting here or you're watching online, you have survived every bad day you have ever had in your life so far. So you're batting 1,000, right? It's the beginning of baseball season and you're starting out batting 1,000. You've survived every single one of the tough ones, and I'm betting on you that you can carry on. Be the active agent in your life. Become the hero of your own story, right? Because when you take the sum total of your life and you come through it and you are the source of light and of love in the greater arena of your influence in life, you're the hero. And you can be really proud of that, because that's what these teachings will do for you. So I have some questions for us to ask in our own minds about how to reevaluate our story. Am I far too attached to something that I should let go of? Am I resisting something that I know in my heart I really should surrender to? What new energies are seeking to enter my life? Is there an old friend I need to contact? I'll tell you, I have a rule of 3, that if someone who's on the periphery of my life crosses my mind 3 times in a short period of time, I take that as Spirit's prompting that I should get in touch with them. And it's easy. Send a text. Hi, how you doing? I've been thinking about you. Send an email. Really shock them and call them up. But usually that's Spirit's nudging for something important. Is there somebody on the periphery of your life that you could bring in a little closer? Is there something new you need to do? Is Is there a new skill you need to acquire? Michael Beckwith asks the question, what do you need to become in order to embrace what is calling you forward? What is seeking to emerge in and through and as your life? What gift in me is seeking to emerge? What is the greatest idea of myself that I can be today? And for those of us who really know that the Spirit of God lives within us, what kind of life does God want to live through me now? And how do I see myself as part of the larger story? Because our new story, our updated story, once you've completely immersed yourself in these teachings, life ceases to be a white-knuckle affair. You get to relax your grip, and you get to let go a little bit. Yeah, bad things do happen to good people, but you realize you are never without resources, and you are never alone. You are held in grace, and you are loved. And just like in the labyrinth, there's always a way forward. So, to update your story, really find your place of faith, your trust in the big picture, and get focused on the absolute truth of your being. Speak to yourself compassionately and audaciously. All right, compassionately and audaciously. Knowing that you're a spiritual being unfolding in a human life. What I know to be true is that no matter what is happening and going on in our world, there is nothing compared to the power and the presence of the Holy Spirit, the universal source that supports you and lives within you. Also know that in your depth, everything is going to be okay. That this work that you do, the work that is continuous and ongoing, is the priceless gift of knowing your own mind, of understanding your consciousness inside the greater consciousness of the mind of God. Within you is pure radiance. And everything in your path has been put there by grace. Yes, radiant well-being is your birthright, and you can make that your story. So let's take a moment of meditation. I want to read you some words that have affected me for a long time. This is one of those things that you tack onto your refrigerator, right? Written by a woman named Susan L. Taylor. So follow with me here. How would you live if you felt you could trust life fully? If you believed you were totally protected and secure? That forevermore your life would be filled with love and prosperity? Think of how your fears would dissolve, of how totally accepting of yourself and others you would be. It wouldn't matter if they met your expectations or not. Think of how you would venture forth knowing you would succeed. Think of how your heart would open, how free you would feel, how free you would be to love. All of this is the treasure that life offers us. We simply need the consciousness to experience it. And so right here and right now, I claim that consciousness for you, for me. I claim that it is true, that our story is one of open hearts and healed hearts, and people that can rise to any challenge because we know who we are, and we know the tools we have, and we know that we are held in grace, always. I declare that it is so. Amen.
Every morning, the light keeps getting brighter as I wake up to the truth. Every day, I'm feeling so much lighter, and the world seems fresh and new. What I was taught and the way that I thought stopped serving me long ago. Now I'm learning to trust in the God of all of us. Each day I start anew, and so I'm walking away from the thinking that held me for so long. Today is the day I walk away. I'm walking away from the path that led me to confusion. Today is the day I walk away. I'm walking away from the thinking that held me for so long. Today is the day I walk away. I'm walking away from the path that held me to such sadness. Today is the day I walk away. Every day I walk away. Every morning brings a new beginning. By grace, another day to be. I awaken to the sun upon me shining, lighting the way for me to see. Oh, the things that I sought and the way that I thought stopped serving me long ago. Now I'm learning to trust in the God of all of us. Of yesterday I'm letting go. I'm walking away from the thinking that held me for so long. Today is the day I walk away. I'm walking away from the path that led me to confusion. Today is the day I walk away. I'm walking away from the less than that held me for so long. Today is the day I'm walk away. I'm walking away from the path that led me to such sadness. Today is the day I walk away. Every day I walk away. Today is the day I walk away.
Wow. Wow. Becky and Matt, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. And Mary Ellen, thank you for your wonderful, inspiring message. Truly, truly, words of wisdom, pearls of wisdom. We are writing a new chapter in our lives here every day, aren't we? And I want to thank you as our board host today. My name is Paul Roof, and it's my honor to be here and be in service to this community. I want to thank everybody who's here for the first time and those that have not been here in quite a while and those online. We'd love to see you guys and hear your presence here. And it is in our tradition that you as an early arriver or first time here, we don't ask anything of you but your presence, and you're putting us into your prayers for growth in this community. Those of us that are actively involved in the church know and appreciate the activities that go on here and what it takes to make this all happen. We make that happen through our acts of tithing and giving, and that's the part that keeps us afloat here for sure. So thank you for your generosity, thank you for your giving, and please join me in our offertory. Oh, and of course, if you're online, you want to give, there's that wonderful site that we have that Monica does a fabulous job of keeping up. Go to unityofbellevue.org and hit the give button. That is there for you. And the offering affirmation, if you cite this with me, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. Thank you.
And so we give thanks for these tithes and love offerings. We are so grateful for the generosity demonstrated in the sharing of our time, of our talents, of love in so many forms. We know we live in an abundant and ever-generative universe that loves to give and keep on giving. And so we align ourselves, our community, our love offerings with this generativity, this principle of circulation. All is in alignment with the highest and best for each and all. We are so grateful, and so it is. Welcome again. My name is Monica McDowell Elvig. I am your center administrator, and I have some announcements for you. If you are visiting with us for the first time, welcome. We open our hearts to you. We are so glad that you are here. If you are online joining us for the first time, you can go to our website and go to the I'm New page, unityofbellevue.org. There's an I'm New page, and there's a button on there that says, send me a welcome packet, and I would be happy to send that to you in the snail mail. We'd love to hear from you and to know who you are. If you are visiting here for the first time in person, we've got a welcome packet for you just to the left of the sanctuary doors that you can pick up, and there is a coupon in there that you can use in the bookstore for 20% off any book of your choice. There's also a connection card in your seat back, and we'd love to have you fill that out. The prayer chaplains are always ready to pray with you and for you. We will have a prayer circle in the library that is hybrid, is also online. The Zoom link is on our launch page on our website. Lori Coleman will be there a few minutes after our service to pray with you. Prayer requests can always be filled out on the prayer request forms by the south entrance, online, or email to them at prayerchaplains@unityofbellevue.org. We are still receiving and accepting submissions for our Metaphysical Lent creative response to the spiraling path. So you can send those to Mandy or to me. If you have any questions, you can contact us. Our book of the month on this theme is Dancing the Dream, The 7 Sacred Paths of Human Transformation by Jamie Sams. If you are familiar with the Animal Medicine cards, it's the same person. It's a powerful read. So look at that in your local bookstore or at the library. Also, we have sent out a youth survey to all of our youth and families, and we put it in our newsletter too. We've had very little response, and we'd like to get your feedback. So if you have children or grandchildren, or if you would like to volunteer in the program, regardless of whether you have children or grandchildren, we'd love to have you fill out that survey. if you need that survey, you can email Sabrina or you can find it on the newsletter. So just reach out. We'd love to hear from you so we can plan to reopen our youth program. We are also going to start having you, as you like, participate in leading Sunday service. So if you have any interest in doing readings, in doing prayers, we're going to start coordinating that. And we're going to put a pool together. I'll do some of the training, and that includes children too. So we'd love to have this be a participatory event up here and not just me. So we would love to have as many people as want to participate that in any way. So reach out. You can reach out to me or to Sabrina for that. And then I just wanted to give an update. Linda and Women Connect for our Sacred Service of March. We delivered 5 large pizza pies and a lot of salad and drinks and 5 fruit pies, I believe, to the Sophia Way on Monday on Pie Day. So thank you so much for your generosity. We brought in over $200, well over $200, and it was a great thing to drop that off, a very fun thing. So thank you for your generosity on that, and thank you to Linda for coordinating that and for dropping it off for us. Just to save the date, our healing ceremony led by Dr. Donaldson, our third and final community event with him, will be on Saturday, April 9th, so save the date for that, 7 p.m. It will be hybrid, so it'll be in person and online. So put that on your calendars. More details will be forthcoming. And then just a final thank you to Dr. Mary Ellen Johnson for her wisdom. The gentleness of that your wisdom comes through is heart-opening. So thank you for that wisdom. And thank you again for Becky and Matt. Awesome music. Next week we have Cindy Akana as our guest speaker and Dave Robecki as our guest artist. So we look forward to joining with you on site and online again. So thank you. We're going to finish it off with the peace song and the prayer for protection.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator and family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you, everyone. Blessings. Have a great week.